Alrighty, welcome back. Doing some tarot readings, going through the queue. Um, been pretty self-explanatory. I explain stuff on the way as I go along. But yeah, just sit back and enjoy. If you'd like to redeem a reading, it's subs can get one free reading per stream. I can donate. So you can tip $5, cheer 500 biddies, or just simply redeem with channel points. So either way, even if you, or if you just want to lurk and enjoy, but I will be uploading these VODs to YouTube so people that aren't here for the readings that are in the queue, they can see them later. So I'm just going to wait for the ads and we'll get started soon. Alrighty, so I'm gonna actually get started now. I do a 5-card spread. Second card is played in reverse, and for people to know, reverse cards have alternate meanings. But this first reading is gonna be for Being Awake, one of our regulars here, an IRL friend, and I will link him the VOD later. And these are general readings, by the way. So let's take a look, and we get for the first card the Hanged Man, featuring, what does it say the animal on it? The fruit bat. He's hanging upside down. Look how cute that is. The first card's the Significator. But pretty much you. You are the question. This is you. This is how we start our journey, if you will. And I'll just pull up the chart. And it's a major arcana card, so that's much more weighing influence and maybe power, if you will. Not that the other cards are any weaker, but anything for the major arcana is usually like a kind of a big deal, or maybe calling more attention to something. But let me pull up the Hanged Man. So normally upright, which is how it's played in this position, it can mean sacrifice, waiting, uncertainty, lack of direction, perspective, contemplation, acceptance, new perspectives, release, let go, and martyrdom. So it could be self-victimizing, it could be stagnant, literally like this is fine, the meme. But also because you're in a different position, you might be able to see stuff that you didn't see before. It's like almost like taking a step back. I really like the representation of the card, because even the original traditional card is someone hanging literally upside down and they're like kind of awakening or seeing the world differently. Kind of, I don't know, it's very symbolic. I think it's very cool. So starting with you, since this is a general reading, it says waiting, uncertainty, and sacrifice. So maybe you're working towards something. Maybe you have been having something on the back burner and you're waiting for a time to execute it, or you've been working on something and you are executing it, but you just don't know when to maybe invest more of it or more of yourself into what you're doing. I know there's so many circumstances like life, work, money, time management, all that. I get it. But not that you're waiting to awaken, but you just something's going on over with you, and also maybe you're trying to juggle multiple things, trying to please everyone, or just like maybe you feel overwhelmed that there's too many things to do and not enough time. Just a big mood. And this is just saying, hey, it's okay. You're going to have to cherry pick and choose if you want and see what you want to do, but maybe this is more like almost like you're waiting for the right time, I guess, to deploy or do what you want to do. I'm always gonna refer to artwork and stuff, is that maybe you had some artwork on the back burner, you want to put more time into it, but then there's time and money and other things going on. So it's just like, how are you supposed to either find a balance, or how are you supposed to make this happen? So I guess the big thing is you're waiting, maybe self-victimizing a bit. Maybe you just need a push to go, but I know it could be scary. Or maybe you're waiting, biding your time more, and you just need a little more time so you can execute it better. But I feel like you don't want to stay waiting forever, because then if you keep waiting for a good time or opportunity or all the planets to align, life can be over. So this one is like either, I would say, get to it, or maybe you're missing the bigger picture, take a step back. Maybe the waiting and acceptance and like, stagnation and all that is coming from you don't have the full picture yet or the puzzle's not completed so you can't proceed. But this is like saying slow down, take a breather, think more about your stuff, then go ahead and execute it or proceed with it. So maybe take a little more time to sit down and really, I guess, again, think hard about it. Don't overthink it, don't stress it, but just maybe just generally reflecting and just thinking about it. And maybe come to a decision making time, be like, you know what, I do want to go for this. I want this. Even if it say fails or doesn't work out, you still want to give it a try, whatever it might be. And that's just the starting. So let's get to the second card. And the second card represents the obstacle, bump in the road, broken bridge, or a river you need to cross, just something impeding you. Or it can be also a warning. Like, hey, if you stay in this path, you might end up in a bad space, or watch out for that trap hole. Or it could be you're in a bad spot, and this is maybe how you can address it or maybe get out of it. So let's take a look. And the second card, the second cards will be played in reverse. Second card we get the Nine of Wands, featuring a fennec fox. Look at him. I'll play it like upside down. It's gonna look like that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Let me pull up that chart real quick. Nine of Wands. Where are you? All right, upright. Okay, let's that. The main site I use for these card readings and meanings went behind a paywall, so now I had to actually take the time to download and type out and edit charts, so I have all the meanings of the cards at my disposal, I guess, because I got so used to just using certain sites. But I never thought they'd go behind a paywall just for, I don't know, common knowledge or something, but, whatever. All right, so I got the Nine of Wands, which normally means last stand, persistence, grit, resilience, perseverance, fatigue, um, close to success. But now in reverse, it's going to have these meanings instead: stubbornness, rigidity, defensiveness, refusing compromise, giving up, exhaustion, fatigue, and unsure motivations. I feel this kind of complements what the first card was saying. You're unsure, waiting, and stuff. And this card is even more saying you're refusing to compromise. Feel like maybe giving up because things aren't working out, or you're not seeing like results fast enough, or maybe you feel you're being blocked from doing this stuff. Also, exhaustion and fatigue because you put a lot of work into something, but you're not getting anywhere, or maybe you're not allowed to, or there's like no progress. So it's just making you almost gaslight yourself and second guess yourself that like, is this really worth it? And that's about unsure motivation. So maybe it's also addressing that. Why are you really doing this or these things or the things you want to do? What's the real reason behind it? Most people will say, you know, try to come up with like poetic sayings and be like, I want to enrich myself or be more quaint or like, or just whatever. But usually for me, it's because I think it's interesting or it's cool. Or it might be fulfilling or it might be something I want to try. But not that I don't use this term too much, that maybe rethink the reasons of why you're doing why you are doing the things the way you are, or just I guess maybe rethink what your true motives are, and are you doing these things that you want to do, are they for the right reason, the wrong reason, are you unsure? So like, like say like if you become like a streamer, get celebrities, followers, so a lot of people get in this thing of like, oh yeah, I want more followers, or they want money out of it, which is cool to get that stuff, but it's like, is that the only reason why I say you're streaming? Is just because you want a bigger following or a cash grab, or do you actually enjoy what you're doing and what you like to do, and you just want to share that? Because to me, those are two very different things. Maybe just reevaluate what you're doing. We also getting weak and tired from it because maybe, again, you want more results, you want to go through with it, but it's like, is it really worth it? And maybe even rethinking, do I really want to do this? So it's got a little bit to think about, I guess. And cool, not a cool one, but stubborn. Maybe you don't want to give up, but you're not approaching thing you want to do right either, and you're refusing to compromise. Even though the first card talked about actually making sacrifices to make your things happen. but now you're maybe not willing to give up enough of yourself or whatever, or do what it needs to be done to progress with this. And almost like saying, not in a mean way, like you may not have what it takes, so you're going to have to find a way to do the thing you want to do your way instead of the less conventional way. You're going to have to make what you want work for you, and like make your dream come true and stuff, and really just stick with it, and maybe just rethink your approach. Basically, maybe redraw the blueprints back to the drawing board, and just kind of soak it all in, reevaluate what you're doing, and kind of don't give up. But you may have to re-strategize, reformulate a plan, even approach it, whatever it is you want to do, completely differently, just to make this work for you. So you can still do what you want, but you're not, say, throwing away anything or wasting your time. But now we're going to get to the third card. Hopefully that helped you along the way. Is positive influences. Take a nice little rest and relax and see what we get. We get the Five of Cups featuring a corgi. Look at that guy. Look how happy he is. So let's go to cups. You got 5. Did they say 4 or I meant 5? Alrighty, so now we got the Five of Cups, which represents loss, grief, disappointment, sadness, mourning, discontent, feeling let down. Kind of a little harsh, I guess, because the card is so happy in there. But let me pull that out. Unless I did the chart, but I don't think I did. But let me just double check. I also like to coordinate the artwork of the cards with the meaning, but I just want to see what Five of Cups has to say. Yeah, no, that's it. I don't know, the corgi fooled me because he's so happy. But yeah, regret, moving on, sadness, mourning, so great loss. Even though this card's positive influence, maybe there's things in your life, maybe the grief and disappointment and sadness is coming from you coming to terms with yourself. Or maybe the way you want to do things wasn't the way and you had to completely change how you did it, but then it required even more sacrifice. Maybe you had to give up a lot more. Maybe some people didn't approve of your methods or what you were doing. So it's like you had to purge a bit, get sad, get over it, or say like you're self-victimizing or self-pity. You took the time you needed to mourn. You took the time to work out your emotions, get, like just generally get through it. Now you're ready to move on. And yes, you're regretting looking back in the past of like say mistakes or whatever, but you know yourself, it's like, okay, even though these bad things or mistakes or regrets happened, you can't let them hold you down. Yes, you can remember them and be like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Natural regret or whatever you're going to carry with you, but you're ready to move on and get things going again. So it sounds like you really took a lot of time to think about what's going on, and maybe you didn't have people supporting you. And when people hear the word support, a lot of people I know just immediately think money. But I'm talking more like emotional support, actual reinforcement and support from others, like emotional support that may not involve money, because there's different kinds of support, but not like a person that does yes men or something, but like, because people that actually want to see you succeed or support or actually are into your idea or think that it's cool. Because, you get plenty of people that falsely support you, or they say they do, but they don't really, or they don't really actually believe in you or the cause or the thing you're doing. So it's like, you can surround yourself by flatterers, but that's not going to really, at the end of the day, do anything. But maybe you had to cut ties with some people, maybe say some goodbyes, and just, you're ready. But so grieve, purge, leave things behind, and get ready to move on. So that is actually pretty cool. And now we're going to go to the fourth card, which is the now like the near future. We fast forward a little bit to see how it's all going. And we get the Five of Pentacles. Oh no. And this is involving the Munchkin cat. And you can guess probably by the artwork of the card of what's in store, if you will. Let me get the pentacles, and that is 5. Okay, hardship, loss, isolation, feeling abandoned, adversity, struggle, employment, alienation, disgrace, needy, poverty, insecurity, potential health issues. And so, yeah, the little munchkin cat's all beat up and trying to recover, not in a great spot. But let's see. Because the struggles are coming up, the struggles are real, so maybe you're really holding on to make this thing work. But the amount of adversity is going on, and because you put higher priority in this thing, maybe you're losing supporters along the way, or because you're not bearing results and fruits, you feel like a failure, and others are like, it's never going to happen or something, and you're feeling kind of guilty almost for trying to pursue something or even better yourself, and then people start shunning you, or maybe you need a little help or a boost, but you notice more people turning their backs on you. It talks about potential unemployment, so maybe you lost a job, and instead of getting right back on it, you took this as a time and opportunity to be like, hey, maybe this is a sign, or now that I have technically more free time, I can pursue this thing more and really work at it. But I know that most of the world will judge people based on their worth, and in this case, money, not what you can potentially bring to the table, not your hopes and dreams or aspirations, or you as a person. But a lot of people just look at you and be like, well, what's your net worth? What's how much money do you have in the bank? But you took this, all right, as an opportunity to just be like, hey, I want to pursue this more. But then since you're feeling abandoned again, people ditching you, you feel isolated because you're maybe spending more alone time working on these things, hobbies or passions, and you're kind of like thinking, hey, taking a mental health break. I'm tired of all the naysayers or booers, or people that just aren't helping your situation. So it's like as if you have a crafting room. Maybe you just close the door while you work, or maybe a funnier 90s metaphor would be you go into your basement to play with your trains. But talks about being needy, poverty, and insecurity. So maybe things aren't whatever things you're pursuing aren't bearing fruit and not showing promise. So it's getting you also worried because maybe you also put some of your finances into this, but now it's like preemptively panicking or getting ready to prepare for not good things ahead. Not preparing for the worst, but just like in general, like you really got to balance. Are you going to stick with this and try to make it work? Is it worth it? Should you abandon ship, start over, or do something else? So you're just kind of at the far end, bottom of the barrel type of situation that you invested so much time into this. Hasn't really shown fruit yet. Well, I guess that's up to you or how determined you are if you want to stick with it or abandon. But maybe you poured in too many resources into this and you're not getting enough yield back for what your investment was. But it's just saying, be careful, I guess. And some hardships might be ahead. You may have to endure even more pain and suffering going forward. But it's like, I guess it could also be a test of your conviction and resolve. So if you feel good for it or feel good still pursuing it, I would say go with it, but there's no shame in also abandoning something or retreating. And maybe you can even revisit this later. Maybe you just need to do something else. But now we're going to get to the fifth card, the long-term results, and see how this all kind of calculates up. Now we get strength, featuring the Chinese alligator. At least we got a major arcana, so that's really cool because we need some we need a lot of power right now and good vibes and all of that essentially. And let me pull it up. Strength, so courage, bravery, confidence, compassion, and also self-confidence, not just overall confidence, but more confidence in yourself, inner power and strength, inner focus. The card's more symbolic. I mean, it can't have, physical attributed strength like power, you worked out, your powerhouse, but it's also more metaphorical, like willpower. You have the strength to say no to people, to turn people down. You have the strength to do the right thing, even if it's hard. You have the strength and willpower to make conscious decisions. And it talks about like healing and restoration. Basically got more confident in yourself. You sounds like, or at least it looked like this, you stuck to your guns and things are looking good. It just kind of sucks. You had to go through a lot of not so cool stuff maybe to get here. But you're here now, so it's just like, so I guess essentially good job. But also more focused like a laser beam, so you're into what you're doing, passionate about it. Maybe you went through some really hard times. In those hard times, you found something that helped you keep going, or you maybe just simply stuck with it until it worked out. And now it's working out. And the best part is you have more compassion for this, empathy for others. You know more do's and don'ts. What might get you in trouble, what might bail you out. So just overall more also experience, or the experience itself was as some people would say, pretty dope. But at least you got inner focus, more resolve. You stuck with it, so it's good. You know, when you stick with stuff, it's good to see stuff finally bear fruit, or even just seeing the completion of something. So even after this instance or little journey or quest you went on, even if it say didn't ultimately work out, you're like, cool, on to the next. You still did the whole thing. You still got an experience out of it. You still, you know, you did your thing, or better for worse, whatever. But at least you know you did it. So that alone is a, in my book, an achievement. So things were getting a little scary, but then at the end it kind of wrapped up. So at least it doesn't feel like to be continued. But at least it didn't leave you on a cliffhanger of being like, oof, in a really tough spot. But now let's do a quick oracle card just to complement what you know the reading. Independent, kind of like a little fortune cookie cherry on top, bonus, whatever. And we get Gandalf, which represents dedication. There you go, being awake. If you need any proof of maybe to stick what you're doing and you're passionate about, you're going to be dedicated and you're going to do what you do and you're going to do it good. I mean, yes, it'll take time. Nothing, you know, you all got to start from somewhere, even like artwork and stuff. You know, the drawings are crude and everything, but at least with this, even if you say you never really get good, just as an example, your dedication will take you a long way just because of your like passion and again dedication to it. And I like how Gandalf represents this. So I hope that was cool for you being awake. And yeah, thanks for taking interest. Now I'm going to shuffle these cards and I'll get down to the next readings. I have a ton of readings to do, but I don't know if I'll get to them all today. So I'm just going to maybe 2 hours tops. I also do want to do Super Metroid later, but I also got to do some artwork offline. So we'll just see how it goes. Let's shuffle this for a minute. All right, let's see who's next on the list. We have Heckle Fang Yin. Let me quickly timestamp that 27:4. Alrighty, so let's Heckle Fang Yin, do a 5 card spread, and just tells a little story about you. It's a general reading. It, give or take what you want from it. I give you the kind of like the general meaning of the cards, my own personal interpretation that follows that guideline and kind of formulates just a little story from you. We're reading from the book of you. We're taking a look into your script, if you will, or your story, just a generalization and just see how it's going. And
Wow, look
we
at all
welcome
these
in
people
raiders.
present for your insane
Thank you,
injection.
Otterly and friends, for the raid. Always appreciate it. And there you got a Niv going. Let me give shouties out. And welcome in Yuki and Fuegos Cal, and Otterly. So today I'm doing some readings off a queue, but if you would like one, let me know and I will do it right up for you. Or for anyone from your community if you would like one. But if not, I'm just going to continue with the queue, but real quick.
Well, time for your medication, Chimera.
Thank you for the biddies. And we got a super trivia. If anyone wants to answer that, it's exclamation point SA space, then what do you think the answer might be? Let's see. SA 1984. I don't know. No worries. Continue with the. All right. Appreciate it. But anyway, real quick, my name is parlnock. I usually play Darkest Dungeon. I speedrun Super Metroid, do artwork and tarot readings. And right now I'm explaining for one of my person on the list here, Heckle Fang Yin, that I am doing a 5-card spread, and it just kind of tells like a little story along the way. So we'll just say it's at the 30-minute mark. I link people the VODs later so they can watch at their own convenience. That way no one has to ever feel forced to be here live. But yeah, Heckle Fang Yin, we do a 5-card spread, tells a little story about you, and just see where it goes. And I'll just explain on the way. So we'll start with the first card. And we got the Hanged Man yet again. We just got this as the first card from our last readings. I think that's funny because I do shuffle the decks pretty good. But let me just pull up the chart for that real quick. All right, the Hangman, sacrifice, waiting, uncertainty, lack of direction, perspective, contemplation, acceptance, new perspective, release, let go, martyrdom, or martyrdom. And well, again, this is like the dog meme in the fire. This is fine, but it's not all just bad. It is good to it. Oh yeah, and it has a fruit bat. Quick, but not bad because it talks about sacrifice. So you're into what you do, or passion is life. It's the fuel of life, dedication and stuff. But here it's saying a lot of waiting, uncertainty. Maybe you're waiting to do something new. Maybe you have something in the back burner, something else you want to try or do or pursue, but again, you don't know if you should. Or maybe you have been working on something, but it's not. You feel like you're not getting anywhere. This is a good time to essentially maybe take a step back, see the bigger picture, reformulate a plan. Hopefully, you're not stuck or down to the dumps or beating yourself up over something. But saying time to let go. This is fine. Accept that things. Say like you're in a bad spot or something. Say accept it. Let go. Yes, this current position sucks. I'm in a bad spot, but I want to get out of it, or I want to move on from it. It also could be you're rushing into stuff a lot, and then this card's also saying maybe slow down a bit and slow down the testing and get a new, again, take a step back, see the bigger picture. Maybe you're overlooking something because you're so hyper fixated on whatever you were doing, but you didn't notice that maybe some of the answers or things that were right in front of you to solve whatever issue or problems you have, or things you just want to do, might have been completely blind to you because you're so focused on something like a laser beam that all you had to do was take like a deep breath, take a step back, look at the entire picture, and maybe you'll discover something new that you didn't see before, or maybe something that you weren't aware of before. But again, this is just the beginning. It can apply to so many things. It could be hobbies, passions, artwork, jobs, going back to school, relationships. Just it could amount to anything. But as we draw more cards, we'll get maybe narrow it down a little more. So for the second card, it's going to be the obstacle, and that's bump in the road, broken bridge you're trying to cross, or trying to get across a river, but there is no bridge. It could be a trap hole, it could be a warning. It could be a bunch of things, or a difficult raid or dungeon boss. And those cards I will play upside down, and upside down / reversed cards have alternate meanings. So this one we get strength, which again we had on the last one, but that was the final card. But it's going to be in reverse, and it has the Chinese alligator. There's a little baby on her head. So let me go pull up that chart real quick. And again, I used to use a few websites for all my charts, but then they either A, took them down, and the other ones used the paywall to get the meanings of the card. And I thought that was kind of ridiculous. So I just went to some resources online and just jotted down everything. So I had them locally on my computer. So even in case of, say, I lose internet connection, I could still make the videos and have everything on my actual computer, not have to rely on websites for those basically public knowledge stuff. Anyway, the card normally means bravery, courage, confidence, compassion, inner power, focus, and strength, and mental fortitude, and like healing. Now it's reversed or upside down, so it's going to mean this instead: self-doubt, weakness, low confidence, inadequacy, cowardice, forcefulness, and insecurity. So maybe you were all about making your things happen. Maybe you're just projecting or trying to show the world that you're not weak or confident, but maybe you're not confident. You actually are very low in confidence. You feel self-doubt because maybe, again, you're not progressing as much as maybe others. Maybe you're comparing yourself to others too much. I don't know. Or maybe you're just not really feeling something, but you still want to do it, but nothing just seems like nothing's really going right. Or maybe you just have some difficulty in your life. And, that could keep anyone down, and you just try to just process everything. It could be the loss of a loved one. It could be like maybe lost a job, or maybe you got like a bad review or feedback from somebody, or maybe like friends are betraying you, or like not betraying you, but like you notice more people are shunning you or like turning their backs on you, and you have no idea why. Or maybe you just feel isolated from everyone, and but you love doing things and whatever you're passionate about, out and about. So you still like maybe you're not taking the time to grieve or think or feel sad. Not that you don't want to self-pity all the time and be like, play the victim all the time, because that's not going to get you anywhere either. But at least maybe take time to acknowledge, like, yeah, I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to rethink. I need to do some me work, and maybe reevaluate even your friends and colleagues and peers, and reassess the situation, I guess. But, or maybe even this is just all warnings, like if you don't pay attention, maybe you got full of yourself, or maybe like something went to your head. So this card can also be like a warning: hey, don't forget where you came from. Keep in mind the people who supported you, and then the struggles you went through, your own struggles, because you don't want to end up in this bad space. So this card, I feel like, could be more like a warning that, hey, you could end up in a not so cool space if you keep this up. Or the card could also be, you're here now, let's address these things while you're down here in this pit, so that way you can get out of it. And now we're going to get to the third card, which is positive influences, and hopefully shed some light and encouragement for you and see where things are going. And with that, we're going to get Nine of Wands yet again, but this time it's not in reverse. And there's a little fennec fox. Let me pull up the chart. All right. Last stand, persistence, grit, resilience, perseverance, close to success, fatigue. This card is you're standing up for your beliefs and whatever you are into, I guess, more. It could be people, it could be backing up a friend, it could be your own projects, hobbies, or just your own way of life, but you're making a more of a stand. You're exhausted, hence the fatigue, exhaustion, and resilience is it's been fighting basically a long battle, almost like a wounded warrior type of thing, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. The fight's almost over, or symbolic fight as well, not just literal fight, but you were able to get through this through perseverance and just sticking with it and being a real tough guy, and maybe not giving up on your hopes and dreams. And again, you're making your last final stand. It could be creating content. It could be a job. It could be like, say, asking someone to marry you. Just so many like big events. But this is like, whatever this task or thing you're doing is near coming to an end. Or it's like in a video game, like one more wave of enemies in a tower defense game, and then there's the final boss, and that's it. So the end is in sight. You can't wait to accomplish your goals or achieve some dreams, or just setting out and doing stuff that you wanted to do. But you are exhausted. You are very tired. So it's also a reminder that take some time to do some self-care, but you might have to wait till after the quote-unquote battle's done to do that. But it's along the way, because some people blindly fight so hard or work, say, overtime and do so many things they forget about how to rest and take care of themselves. Or the biggest one I see is people forgo sleep. And for me, I can't do that. Yeah, if I'm on vacation or partying or something, yeah, I can. Maybe if it's just for like a short period, like say a few days, okay, I'll just lose some sleep every night for a few days, that's fine. But I can't do that all the time. At least for me, I have to make up that sleep somewhere. And if I don't get enough sleep, I just can't function. So, but you're been sticking out this battle for a long time, so the fruits of your reward are near. But basically, or if you're struggling or maybe contemplating, should I give up? This is a sign to maybe not give up and keep going. It's almost over. And to stick with it, because you already invested so much of yourself and your time, your soul, your energy into these things that you're doing or you're passionate about, that it's like almost like, don't you dare stop and give up now. You're almost done. And then, good job. So things are going in a very positive direction. So kudos. And now we're going to get to the fourth card, which is the near future, just to see how everything's going. And we get the Queen of Cups, featuring the Maine Coon cat. Go to Cups and pull that out. Queen of Cups. Merry Christmas for the 8 months. Sure, whatever, Nev. Okay, Queen of Cups. Compassion, warmth, kindness, intuition, counselor, supportive, calm, and comfort. So, whoo-wee. Very, very, very nice, good vibe cards, if you will. Let's see, you're struggling, you're doing your thing, you're passionate, you completed goals, and now we fast forward a little bit, and I think the biggest thing is healer and counselor, and people know they can talk to you. You're open-minded, you're willing to share and talk, and you know let people lean on you, and you will listen to them, and you can even give them some advice on how to get through their problems or issues they have, or at least they feel confident going to you, because maybe again you actually listen. A lot of people don't actually do that. They'll talk, to hear you, they're like, uh-huh, uh-huh, oh, that sucks, or uh-huh, yep, oh yeah, hope you get better. Like, they're not, they're just listening, but they're not paying attention, or I don't know. So you're actually listening. People bestow confidence upon you. You get kind of a reputation. Hey, this person knows their stuff. They're kind. They have empathy, compassion, willing to listen and discuss it. Because a big thing is when people want to talk about something, depending on the severity of it, people like to trauma dump. And then once they unload their problems and worries, like, phew, I feel better. Well, thanks, bye. And then you're like, but I want to talk about that. I want to have an actual discussion about it. So you're letting also people know you're willing to take them in and listen. But then they also, by you giving of yourself in that way, they got to do it, because it's two-way street. So they got to do it too. And they have to be ready to discuss that. Because a lot of people, again, just do the, oh, I'm going to trauma dump on you and get you worried. And then they're just like, oh, I feel so much better. And then just peace out. And then you're left feeling like garbage, because now they just basically just threw it all on you. And that's pretty not cool, because, who does that? At least discuss it or something, have an open conversation. But some people just want to blurt out everything and then run away. And then it's just like, what's the point of that? Then the card also talks about warmth, kindness, and comfort. So maybe your just presence makes them feel welcome and warmed, or maybe they're scared. You're relaxing. It could either be your voice, your mannerisms, your body language. You're inviting people and letting them know that I come into my non-gingerbread house. That's just fast forwarding a little bit, so things looking good, and maybe you got more confidence along the way there, and just keep doing what you're doing. And then let's move on to the fifth card, which is going to be long-term results. Let me just spread that out and pull up a chart, and we get the Four of Cups featuring the porcupine. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. Let's try. Got the Four of Cups. Let me focus again. There we go. Let me pull up the chart. Okay, for the Four of Cups, we got contemplation, feeling disconnected, melancholy, apathy, boredom, indifference, discontent. So maybe now, things are, looking really good, top king of the world, being such a giver, a gifter, a nice person people looked up to, but somewhere along the line, I guess, you feel rethinking things. You get to pick and choose now. Maybe things aren't so easy or naturally coming to you, and I don't know, you're just really thinking stuff. You feel discontent for stuff, indifferent. You feel a little bored. Maybe you don't feel challenged enough. Maybe you're just reevaluating yourself and being like, what do I want to do? I came this way. Did I really achieve what I wanted to achieve? Let's see. It also talks about feeling disconnected. Maybe you're not bearing things aren't bearing fruit anymore. Maybe you just need to retreat and do some meditation and come back with a clear head on what you want to do. So it sounds like almost like a training arc thing in like an anime. In training, you're getting more powerful, learning new skills, yada yada. But now it's like, am I training hard enough? Should I be training for this purpose? Should I be doing something else? Do I need work done anywhere else in my fields, or maybe like my vulnerable weak spots? So this card, I would say, is more retreat, rethink, reevaluate everything, but knowing that you can pick and choose what you want to do and invest your life and time in. And again, not a bad thing, just maybe take a step back. Or maybe like for some people, you did all the things you wanted to do, and now you feel bored because there's so much free time, you're not working towards something. You kind of accomplished everything you wanted to do. So just not that it's anything bad with that. I think that's actually pretty great. But it's now like you're almost like kind of bored and like, what else is there to do? So maybe you need to take a vacation, go away, take some time off, rethink about the next thing you might want to do and get hyped up about. Or maybe, as an example, maybe you always want to play a musical instrument. Maybe you always want to do some kind of artwork. So it's now that like you've done a lot, come a long way, you have more time now to do more things you wanted to do. But again, you got to just sit back and think about how you want to do it, what you want to do, and is it worth doing, and is it worth your time? So I think that's pretty damn cool that it comes back to, it all boils down to you have a choice. We all have a choice, and then you have maybe more resources at your disposal. But either way, it's cool because this all sounds like you wrapped up a good story, but now it's like not necessarily to be continued, but it's like what's next out there. And I guess kind of to be continued, like what's your next adventure, what's your next book, what's your next thing you're gonna do. And who knows, you probably have a lot of things you want to do, but now it's like a time to be like, okay, what order do I do these things? What's more important to me? What do I prioritize more? But it's still cool because you have the time and ability to pick and choose what you want to do and in what order. So it's kind of like the world is your oyster kind of a thing. And one second. But with that, we're gonna also do a bonus, like with all my readings, a oracle card, and we're just gonna complement the reading. And we got Baba Yaga, not to be confused with Baba Yetu, but Baba Yaga, and she represents life cycle. So that's pretty cool because you went around the whole little galaxy, your planets, and your story, and then it ends with again more choice on to the next, or even in a sense rebirth. Like you closed one chapter, you finished one book, and now you're going to open another book. So literally life cycle. And I like the artwork on this. She's got like a little stick or house, little bird house has bird feet, I guess. And she is like the mountain. It's almost like the old lady in the mountain. What the card looks like to me. I guess Heckle Fang Ying. I hope you enjoyed that. And again, if you guys ever want to discuss these readings further, or maybe we just have a chat about it, you can always let me know. I'm open to discussions through DMs, or maybe even a call at some point. If you guys really want to do that, I can always schedule it too. The Otterly says, I love that archetype. I'm just going to shuffle the deck more and we'll get right on to the next. But make sure I do a good job shuffling. I do have a new deck of Sonic cards, but they're so new, they're like, they don't shuffle well. But maybe I'll do one reading. Actually, no, because they renamed some of the cards. It's kind of annoying, not really, but like I have to like look up and make sure I have the right cards because they don't number them. At least for the major arcana, they just go by names. There's one called Travel, so I thought it meant the world, but it was actually the Fool. And the same thing, I saw a ghost with a scythe, so I thought it was Death. No, it was the Tower. I'm like, okay, these. I felt like some of the artwork for the Sonic cards weren't lining up with the meanings. Not that they have to, but it just, I don't know, maybe in the future I'll shuffle those more and get the cards broken in more. But let's quickly, 1 second, just gotta get a drink. Okay, 50, we'll say 51 minutes is the next reading. Okay, this next reading's for Evan Talisman Devil. Okay, interesting name. Anyway, oh, sorry, Even Talisman Devil. Do a 5 card spread. Tells us a little about you, just reading from your book or your story, or it's like a game you just putting in a video game. You select a new game, and it just tells us a little about you. It's not targeting anything specific. It's a general reading. I'll explain on the way. All you need to know: the second card is the obstacle, and that I feel like not necessarily used against you, but something you have to pay attention to. Could be a warning or whatever. I always play the obstacle upside down, and upside down / reverse cards have alternate meanings. I'll just explain on the way because we do it anyway. So here we go. The first card we get is the Ace of Pentacles, featuring, oh boy, what's this? The Palawan Peacock Pheasant. Oh, that's a mouthful, but so we start off with the Ace of Pentacles. So let me pull up that chart. Ace. Okay, new opportunities, resources, abundance, prosperity, security, stability, manifestation, and new adventure or new venture awaits. So pretty cool because maybe you had a part in your life where you either worked hard, did something, or busy life, I should say, but now something fell into your lap. You have opportunities now. You have the resources to do these things you want to do. It could be time and money, everything. So I think that's really cool. You're in a good spot financially, or at least okay. You feel comfortable to pursue more in life. And that could be, again, learning a language, learning artwork, learning music, doing things you want to do, crafting. It doesn't always have to be artwork, but I'll just always default to that. But just an example, you want to do more. You're in a position now that you can do more, and now you're curious, like, what do I want to do? And you're more in for this to make whatever your dreams are come true, and the adventure of it, or like all the friends we made along the way, type of a thing. A very optimistic starting card because it's just like, cool, you got the resources, you have the means to do this. There's a new adventure, you're in it for the long haul. There's a new adventure around the corner. You're going to set off on that adventure. But the biggest thing is you have, well, not just opportunities. The card specifically says new opportunities. So maybe you weren't even aware of some of these, but they fell into your lap. And now these new opportunities are in consideration as well as the other opportunities you had presented to you. But that's just the start. So let's get to the second card, which is the obstacle. Like a bump in the road, a difficult raid boss in a dungeon. Maybe you're trying to cross a bridge, but the bridge is broken in the middle. Trying to get across the river, but it looks unsafe. Could be a trap hole, you name it. And this is going to address that, or maybe be like, hey, watch out for these things. If not, you can end up in a bad place, or you could already be in a not so cool place, and then these cards are going to be almost like hints on how to get yourself out of a rut if you're in a rut. Let's see, the second card is Judgment, featuring let's see, Caracol. Looks like a lynx to me. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but it's very cute. And Cloverpuff actually made this card, and this is a deck from Cloverpuff. Bought it at Anthrocon last year. It features a bunch of different artists. So not almost, I don't think all the cards are made by different artists, but at least like, I think 60 different artists, or, oh no, dedicated to the animals, 70, never mind, every card is made by a different artist. That is really cool. So 76 different artists worked on this, and I didn't realize it until now because it also tells you who drew it. But Cloverpuff herself actually, this is the card she designed for her deck. But yeah, Rebirth, usually, sorry, Judgment. Very cool card. It's almost like a symbolic version of death, but and very optimistic and learning and changing. But now that's in reverse, we're going to take a look, a closer look, and see what potential other meanings. So normally, let me just read the meanings. Self-evaluation, awakening, renewal, reflection, reckoning, purpose, and like rejuvenation, rebirth type of thing. But in reverse, it's going to mean self-doubt, lack of self-awareness, failure to learn lessons, and self-loathing. So kind of interesting because you have all these opportunities and abundance and good things going for you. But now the self-doubt, maybe you don't believe in yourself or the things or those opportunities you're pursuing, maybe something or someone or making you second guess yourself. This failure to learn lessons. So maybe you really want something. You keep trying to do it or accomplish it, achieve it, but you keep failing. So, but maybe you really want something that you keep trying and trying again, but you're not making any progress. And maybe, again, hence you fail to learn a lesson or maybe expose something about yourself, like a weakness or just something that's preventing you from proceeding or completing your task, and you're overlooking it again because maybe you're like hyper fixated on the goal and the hard work and dedication that you're putting in, but maybe you're overlooking something so small and fundamental that you keep repeating the cycle, and you want to break that cycle. You never want to be stuck in a cycle. I think this card is a very good awareness wake up call or warning, if you will, to don't get stuck in that cycle. It talks about self loathing, so I don't know, man. Something's got you really down. I don't know if it's an external force or like people or your job or work or things aren't working out or something got you down because the first card you were all up. You're on cloud nine before. Now things are looking kind of tight and suspenseful. Also talks about lack of self awareness. So again, maybe you're just your headspace is somewhere else. Maybe you're a space cadet, or maybe you can't even see yourself, and it's almost like, again, no self awareness, no fact that you're sentient being, no fact that you're you. Maybe you're stuck on autopilot. And this card is also like, okay, it's time for you to stop being on autopilot and maybe think more about stuff. Maybe say like read the room better, or if you're out in public, like, social etiquette, not necessarily etiquette, but just be aware of yourself and your surroundings. Even if it's just be aware, wake up more, open that third eye up, and be more aware. But again, these very good we get this addressed, because maybe if these are things holding you back, we now know these and identify them so we can at least work towards a solution. So I know some people are like, oh, but that's a bad card and or whatever, Well, like, yeah, but also technically there are no bad cards, but I'll be like, no, this is a pretty good wake up call, or saying, hey, maybe you're not paying attention to this stuff, and here are some thoughts and advice or warnings, or be like, hey, maybe you need to work on these things. So now we get to the third card, which is positive influences. Hopefully you worked those things out, got through them, or if you weren't having those troubles, again, maybe these were just warnings saying, hey, watch out, because you could end up here if you don't change something about you or how you do things. And now we get positive influences. We get the Five of Pentacles, which has the Munchkin cat, and if I had to say that card is a doozy. So let me go pull that up. 5. So hardship, loss, isolation, feeling abandoned, adversity, struggle, unemployment, alienation, disgrace, need, or I guess needy, poverty, and insecurity. So this could reflect on failing to learn the lessons, and then you still didn't heed any warnings, and you still did the things maybe your way, or didn't change something, and now you're in a worse position. Or maybe you did heed those warnings and make change, but you still ended up here anyway. So I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, how is this a positive influence then if you're getting screwed over? But maybe you're not quite done learning the lesson. So even though you made a step in the right direction to expand your mind and learn and do more, I guess essentially you didn't quite, not, I'm not going to say not, you didn't do enough, but like there's more work to be done. And again, this card also could serve as another warning saying, hey, yes, you're on the better path to healing and getting ready to do what you really want to do in life. But it's almost like saying you're not quite ready. And if you rush into stuff more, you can end up in this position or worse. So this card's almost like, hey, just slow down, really rethink the lessons. Again, you might have to isolate yourself, almost like kind of like the hermits, like sit back and think. You feel like a disgrace or maybe a failure because you're not succeeding, or maybe it feels like everyone around you is succeeding except for you, and you feel bad or feel like you're not good enough for something or the world. Hence, the struggies are real. Also talks about insecurity, so maybe you just don't, you have the self doubt coming back. And poverty, because the first card talked about you had abundance and everything, but now it's talking about potential poverty and hardship. So maybe some financial woes came into your life, unexpected, of course, or maybe like medical bills, or just something came up. So now those abundant resources you had before aren't available anymore. But since you're already banking and planning and having those resources at your disposal, it's like almost you have to change your plans now, how you approach stuff, because you have to be a little more frugal with your money and finances and stuff. It's like you had a cool plan planned out, you had all the resources, but now those resources are not necessarily gone, but you have less to work with now, but still more lessons to learn. So it's like you have to become a little more efficient and also get through the struggles a little bit before you start to really bear fruit. But it's almost like a delayed card that's just saying, hey, things are still going to be a little rough. You still got more lessons to learn, a little more work to do. But now, since you invested all this time and money and, investing your own self into this thing, you have less resources to get things done, but you're also kind of near the end of the tunnel at the same time. So just letting you know, I guess, essentially don't give up. And things might get harder or worse before things get better. Well, I know that's very cliche, but at least, again, the card's positive influence, so we have to take it as you just need a little more time to heal, or if you're baking cookies or a cake in the oven, you just need a little more time in the oven. So now we're going to fast forward to the near future a bit and get to see what's going on. And we get the Empress featuring the Pomeranian dog. The major arcana again needed this big boost because things are looking a little spicy, but oh, not the Empress. I keep thinking the High Priestess, but anyway, the Empress. motherly, fertility, nature, abundance, good fortune, good harvest, divine, feminine, sensuality, nurturing, creativity, and beauty. So, one hell of a card to get because right here, good fortune and good harvest. So, you come out of the oven, you are ready, you are bearing fruit now, you are ready to take on the world. You got ideas, you're passionate again, you rekindled any fires, you shredded, you discarded any doubt, and you're ready to go. Or if we're talking like anime, you spent time in the hyperbolic time chamber and achieved Super Saiyan 2. But like how it talks about abundance again, because the first card, the Ace of Pentacles, talked about you had abundance and opportunities. It almost felt like they were stripped away from you, or it took longer than expected. But now it's all actually paying off. You're back in a good spot again. And the coolest part is you have a lot of creativity. You have more creativity now. But I'm just glad to see the abundance, good fortune, good harvest, because the things you did to work on yourself or others, or just a task or hobbies, passions, things you want to pursue, are paying off now. I know just don't literally mean paying off like in money, but you feel fulfillment, you feel revitalized. So just general good vibes everywhere is what we we really needed that one. But that's very good to see. Makes me happy knowing that you're not screwed or the hard times aren't so hard anymore, and that it's just good to see because I'm not gonna lie, those things were looking very risky and dicey and spicy and uncertain uncertainty, just a lot of suspense, I guess. But hey, you got through that, and a lot of beauty and the good harvest. Let's see, good fertility, motherhood, sensuality, divine feminine. But I just take it as good job, and you have more empathy, more compassion for others, more awareness, I guess. And then you didn't forget where you came from, so you're counting your blessings. And then maybe you even might be like, you know what, if you might even share the wealth someday, not literal money, but you might help someone along the way, or you might notice someone struggling that you did before. Maybe you can share your story of how you got through it or got out of it, and how you were able to persevere and basically inspire other people that you may find along the way that were in similar situations that you were in before. But thankfully, we're not done yet. We got the fifth card to wrap up the reading, and it's the long term results or ending credits or to be continued, maybe the final raid boss, you name it. And we get Five of Wands featuring Shima Inaga, some type of bird. Very competitive card, so let's go pull it up and get the chart. Five of All right. Conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, rivals, clashes of ego. So interesting. You're in a better place, smarter, wiser, endured more. Now, this could be also a new chapter in life. Like you finish that task or story arc and it's on to the next one, possibly. So almost like to be continued, but it wasn't like a cliffhanger. It was more like your next challenge or next story or whatever awaits you, and it's going to involve a lot of conflict and competition. It could be for jobs, it could be for your peers in school or a project. It's almost like prove your worth, or it's like a friendly, I don't know, friendly competition. Could be a literal competition. You might have joined a group with somebody, or started a business, or went into business with somebody. But now this is beyond just your own hopes and dreams and interests. It's like now, okay, I have to coexist with others. So it almost feels like a partnership of some kind. But there's going to be a lot of internal conflict. You're going to butt heads. You got to find ways to work things out or, compromise. Also, competition. Everyone wants to be in the spotlight. Everyone wants to be the special snowflake or the big fish in the little pond, or even be like the proving grounds. You have to prove your worth. There's got to be arguments because not everyone's going to see eye to eye. And everyone's also fighting, I guess, almost primitively to assert their dominance. So aggression, which is the physical aspect, almost like roughhousing, working out, or like a sparring partner. Also tensions, things are getting tense, tensions are rising. narrowed eyes are happening. Maybe people even muttering threats, or it's just you pit people together. They're either gonna vibe, they're either gonna hate each other, or they'll find solutions, or whatever. Talks about rivals, so that's good because then there's more of a competition thing. And also, I know a lot of people might say rivals are bad, but I also see rivals can be a good thing because then now you have drive and motivation, not to necessarily one up the other person, but like extra motivation and drive to achieve more for yourself, not to belittle the other person, but more to like you want to succeed. You see someone else doing better, and you kind of get it's like sharing almost inspiration. Like, oh, this person's on fire. This person's doing all the things. I want to do all the things too. Whoops, I bumped the camera. So it's also like you can piggyback off of other success and inspiration to help fuel your own. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but just you get excited. You have someone to compete against directly. Let's see, and it says clashes of egos. Yes, you guys are gonna butt heads a lot, but I don't know. This could be your own personal thing. This could be with friends and family, partner, lovers. It could be a work thing. It could be a school project, something where you have to work with others. Or it could even just be friends and family on a personal level, but this feels more like out there in the world stuff, not like at you at home. But so you did really good. You went through some hard times. You came out of it, and then you're on to the next challenge in life, or the next goal, or just the next thing that you're gonna do. Or it's almost like at the ending of those movies with like, here we go again, and then they do some they either run off to go after somebody, just something random, and then it's like, yep, and then the credits roll. With that, we're gonna also do the bonus Oracle card. Oracle cards are unrelated to tarot. They're their own decks. They're just a little message of encouragement. It's like a fortune cookie, cherry on top with an ice cream cone, a little something extra, Like we get Tiresias. I think that's it. And he represents wisdom. And look, he has snakes with him. Maybe you went through all this, a little bit. Oh my god, stop it. Sorry. You know a little bit more of what to do, what not to do. You just generally the experience was a real wake up call for you. I don't like the camera. Why is it doing that? Okay, we'll try that. So just pretty much you're wiser now. All the experience you went through, you know the do's and don'ts. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You know what to maybe expect and anticipate from others. You're just overall better equipped to handle these situations again. Or if you come upon new situations you never dealt with before, you're still more equipped and ready to handle them. You're more adaptable. You're more ready, more witty, more ready on the fly. You're not gonna be like it's almost like being on guard and ready to fight at any moment, but without actually being on guard. You're just naturally more attuned with your mind, and you can maybe see things a bit clearer now, maybe have better perception of things. Yeah, that was that one. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me go back to the name of list. Who were we working on? I hope you enjoyed that. Even Talisman Devil. And let me pull up another soundtrack real quick. Where are my soundtracks? I'm gonna shuffle this up and we'll get on to the next. Bum, bum, bum. Almost done. Just trying to really get a good shuffle going. So if I ever shuffle that when I'm drawing, or if I draw a card and I fumble and spill it, I will play those cards in reverse. Thankfully, I'm just in the shuffling phase, so there is no current reading, but I will get to the next one soon. Alrighty, let me pull up the timestamp for the next person. 114. Okay, this reading is for Forsaken Nickel. Okay, a 5-cent coin is now Forsaken, but anyway, Forsaken Nickel. I do a 5-card spread, tells us a little about you. It's a general reading, and I explain everything on the way. I will just say, the second card is the obstacle, and I always will usually play that card in reverse, but I'll explain everything on the way. Save that. Love that. So we start your journey or story or whatever you want to call it with the 10 of Wands featuring the Bumblebee. The bee. All right, let me pull that 10 of Wands. Let's go. All right, 10 of Wands. Burden, responsibility, duty, stress, obligation, burning out, struggles, accomplishment. So you are a hard-working bee. You have a sense of duty, but also a burden of doing the work. Maybe you're the only one that can do it, or maybe a lot of other people rely on you to get the job done. But hence, and it's also out of obligation at the same time. So you feel like, I don't know, everything's weighing in on you. It also talks about struggles, and the struggles are real because you're trying to do this. So much faith and hopes and dreams, maybe, or confidence has been put upon you that it starts to feel heavy. Usually, when people put confidence in you, you feel good. It's like getting support and reinforcement. But in this case, it sounds like you're almost overworking yourself. People are over relying on you to get whatever it is to get things done. But at the same time, the card talks about accomplishment, that like you did it. Maybe I wouldn't say maybe all on your own, but like you worked really hard in something. But you just got to remember not to burn yourself out. You're doing it out of obligation, so it could be like a contract work or a gig, and you're not really feeling it anymore. But you just got to do it because it's either a paid gig or you promised to do it. So now, let's say like you're playing music or doing artwork for like a client or something. It's like you just want this project to be done so you can get on to the next gig because maybe you're not having fun anymore. But at the same time, it was worth doing. It just sucked that like so many things happened along the way to make you feel the way you do. Maybe they overworked you. Maybe they expected too much of you, or you promised stuff or took more than you can chew, put more plate on your food than you can eat. Well, it says stress, so stress levels are rising. But the big thing is you have the burden of this task, and it's all kind of falling on you, and you're burning out. It's tiring. But at the same time, when you're done with it, you feel a huge sense of accomplishment. But maybe just don't overwork yourself. Know your value. Take more breaks if needed. Negotiate. Oh my God! So I hit the camera again. Negotiate better prices or deals, or maybe even it could be expectations of whenever this thing would be done. Maybe you underestimated the time you needed, and then you realized, hey, I actually need more time and or resources to do this task. So you're not going to be able to deliver on time. But either way, you did it's a good job, but now you feel a bit exhausted from it. So don't. I mean, I like to work harder on stuff I'm really into. Not necessarily harder, but I vibe better. I look at the camera angle, it feels off now. Whatever, that's fine. But we'll just see how this unfolds. And then we're going to get to the second card, which represents the obstacle, the thing in your way, preventing you from proceeding, something impeding your path. Could be a bump in the road, could be a broken wheel in your carriage, could be a broken bridge, or you need to get across the river, but the currents look dangerous. Trap hole, you name it. But these cards I play in reversed, and reversed tarot cards have alternate meanings. So here we get to 8 of Wands, featuring a blue-tongued skink. That is right, blue-tongued skink. And it's going to look like this. And let me pull it up. A Agate of Wands. Normally it means movement, speed, progress, quick decision, sudden change, excitement, and rapid action. But now, in reverse, it's going to have these meanings instead. Waiting, slowness, but yet chaos. Losing momentum, hastiness, being unprepared, panic, slowing down. So maybe you're overworking yourself. Physically, mentally, metaphorically, whatever. And you're now at a point of exhaustion. And things are slowing down. Losing momentum. There's more waiting, stagnating. But yet you're ready to, you still feel mental agility and you're ready to go. Hence, you're being hasty, but maybe you're not thinking clearly and really taking time to evaluate and weigh in on your decisions and what you're doing. It's like you just want to go on to the next, do all the things. Maybe you're more of like a physical worker, that you do your best when you are physically working, not thinking too much. But now I feel like it's saying you got to slow down. You got to think things out and execute them, or maybe even change the way of how you do stuff. Because now there's delays, but yet there's chaos. The chaos could be from, say, a client or something for a gig, and you can't deliver, and you're getting overwhelmed, and then you feel even more stress and pressure because your reputation's always on the line. Every time you do a gig or type of work with somebody, you're putting your reputation out there. So maybe things are creeping up on you, but it's saying, hey, slow down. Things are going to get messy. You're unprepared. You're starting to panic, but it's okay to slow down, come up with another plan to fulfill your obligations, to get through this and not to burn yourself out and stuff, and basically get back in there. So maybe, again, you took on more than you can chew from the first card. You want to do all the things, but then you realize you can't do all the things, at least not all at once. Or maybe you made promises, or there's expectations of you now, and you still need to deliver on them, even though you're not quite sure how, because maybe you were unprepared either for the task or for the time it would take or the resources it might need or how much free time you would have to do it. But either way, just slow down, rethink things, try not to panic, and come up with solutions or a way to get out of this rut and refresh your body and mind type of a thing. All right, and with that, we're going to get the third card, which represents positive influences, and let's take a look. 2 of Cups, featuring the giraffe. Almost looks like it's like the Lover's card. Very nice. So let me pull that up. We got 2 of Cups. Unity, partnership, attraction, connection, close bonds, joining forces, mutual respect. So it is like another Lover's card, which I think is really cool. It talks about unity, coming together, partnerships, close bonds, joining forces, powering up, teaming up, mutual respect. So maybe, again, for like the art projects or the music projects or gigs or crafting or just anything you found out was better, maybe you can't do everything alone. You need help. You got help. You reached out. You got help. And either, something pulled you guys together. It could have been something as simple as an attraction, or maybe you found the right help you need and the person had the right set of skills to help you accomplish what you needed to. Also, take a little, give a little, get a little. So maybe you help that other person out with their issues and or they also had, like, say, a gig and needed help to be able to deliver it on time. But either way, you got out of that very exhausting rut. You're in a better place now. You made some closer, deeper connections with some people, even during these times that may have not been cool. You made some meaningful connections and maybe even fallen in love, or maybe someone you want to go into business with, or just even just help, you want someone to help you out and you're like, wow, you really vibed with them, and maybe you just made a new friend or someone to help you, and then you can also help them. But either way, good job not being stuck in that rut, because that stuff gets kind of scary, it gets stressful, so it's, I don't know, always good. But let me get, so that card's pretty straightforward, I think. We get to the fourth card and fast forward to the near future a little bit and just see what's going on there. And we get the Knight of Wands featuring the African Wild Dog. Really cool card. There's two of them. Looks a little shiny, but Knight of Wands. Go back to the Wands and Canid. All right, courageous, energetic, charming, hero, rebellious, hot-tempered, free spirit, action, adventure, fearlessness. Maybe now you feel empowered and embiggened and emboldened, and hence more courageous and fearless, and feeling more adventurous that you can do anything. As you completed that stuff, the people, the person you met, uplifted you. You feel inspired. You feel like renewed and refreshed and powered up and ready to take on the world. And it also talks about being rebellious and hot-tempered. So maybe you're still not thinking clearly, or maybe you're very impulsive, if you will, onto the next, very rapid action. But I mean, you are in a good spot now, but it's saying you should still probably think things out a little more. But I like how it says you're a free spirit, action, you're going with the flow, overall positive vibes. And I think energetic school, because the world needs more energy in people, I should say. But I like how you're up for adventure, you're up for doing new things, trying new things, maybe helping out the other people that helped you out before. Like, I don't know, you just feel more maybe inspired, I should say, is another word. And you want to do all the things again, and not to take on more of a load than you can handle, but you still want to eventually do all the things. So I think that's really cool. And it talks about being charming and the hero, so maybe you're good at talking or communicating with others, or just vibing with others and know how to talk to them, or being like a representative, or no, you're a people person and you can connect to people easily, and people find that comforting, or they know they can talk to you, and maybe you don't bullshit around and you say stuff as it is or how you genuinely feel, but you still use nice wording and stuff, so you know how to really communicate with people, and that's always a plus in this world. And we're going to get to the fifth card, the long-term results, to see how this kind of wraps up and ties in together, and if we have any Scooby-Doo mysteries on our hands. Is it going to be to be continued? Is it actually going to wrap up? Is it going to be inconclusive? Let's take a look. With the Wheel of Fortune featuring the Cloud Rat, but it looks more like a cat to me, or maybe even a lemur, but it's called the Cloud Rat. So let me pull up as you can guess, the Wheel of Fortune. No surprise there. It's going to be a very positive, abundant, opportunity-based card. But let me pull it up. Change, cycles, fate, decisive moments, good luck, fortune, unexpected events, doors closing, doors opening, ending of a cycle, and starting of a cycle. So I actually like to see that here at the ending, because I don't know, it's cool. You just keep up the good work. You have a good head on your shoulders. You're achieving. You're doing more things that you want to do, and I guess a good way of saying it is you're succeeding. You're doing what you like doing. You're passionate. You have the dedication, the drive. Also, maybe just a skill and talent. I know people say they're different things, but I think they're very closely related. But also unexpected events. So maybe some opportunity fell into your lap and you took it because it's like, whoa, this just happened. Hell's yeah, I'm gonna do it. like how it talks about good luck and hence, good fortune. Big one here is fate. So maybe you're destined to do these things, or this was like something set to be done in the past. Like people look into the future that you would do this, or it was like almost like destiny that whatever you got into, whatever fell in your lap was meant to be, and you got to see it through. So that's always cool. But I guess the big thing I like from this card is change. Change is happening. Change is good. You're doing more. You have more experiences under your belt. You went through some harsh times, but at least you got through it. So, again, overall wise. So just having the experience alone of going through those things, even unfortunately, the not so good or cool things, you still took a lot from it. Now you know more of do's and don'ts. Don't overwork yourself. You know more what you're capable of. Not that you're not confident in yourself, but it's like you know that you don't want to burn yourself out either. So maybe you'll take less gigs potentially or something, or do less. You're still going to be efficient. You're still going to be passionate about the things you do, but you're not going to, say, make promises that you can't keep. So that to me is a very good thing. But let's take a look. All right, and then we're going to get the fifth. Well, that was the fifth. The sixth card, which is a bonus oracle card, just a little cherry on top, fortune cookie, something to complement the reading. That's a different deck and everything. And we get Ursula Kemp, which means family. Or not means, but represents, the card itself represents family. So maybe don't forget who you are, friends and family. The family also doesn't have to be blood relatives or anything, but literally the people you spent your time with, which is pretty important too. So it could even be your friends, your coworkers, partners, whatever. Just the people you spent time with, the friendship and family that you forged, even if it is or isn't like blood related family. There's other types of families. Some of my friends are closer or as close as my family, just to give you an idea. So it's like family in all the end. Maybe don't forget about the family, the ones you helped, the ones that helped you. We're all in this together, so to speak. So very good stuff, very positive, very good. Just stick to your guns. Maybe you just started out taking on too much, you got burned out and mentally exhausted, but you overcame it, you got through it, you had more opportunities, you got help along the way. So very, very good and positive stuff. Do I have time for maybe one more? I thought I could go 2 hours, but this is pretty. Well, I haven't done these readings for a while, but it's pretty exhausting. But let me see. I'll probably do one. Let me pull up my chart. Okay, let's do one more. Quickly shuffle this up. All right, let's do the timestamp. 1:30, 1:30. All right, this reading is for 9-volt power. 9-volt power, I do a 5-card spread. Kind of tells us a little bit about you, where you're going, what's going on with you, what's up with you, how you're doing, how you doing. And we're reading your script, and it's a general reading. I'm going to explain stuff on the way. It's a general reading, so we're not targeting anything specific, but just general, basically you. I mean, that's the only specific thing about the reading is you. So we start with the significator. It's just the first card, start of your journey. You know, opening a new book, starting a game, new file name, your character in a JRPG, you name it. We get the King of Cups featuring the raccoon. And it's hard to see because all the color palettes. It looks like the raccoon's looking into like a koi fish pond or something. A very, very artsy card, but let me pull up the chart. King of Cups. All right, King of Cups. Wise, diplomatic, balance between head and heart. Devoted, advisor, counselor, compassion, control. Oh yeah, you're wise. You know how to talk to people. Maintain the peace. You know not to always think with just your head or your heart, or in other cases, other parts of your body. But at least you're level-headed. You have a good balance. You're not hot-headed. You're not cool. You know when to listen to your heart, when to listen to your brain, your soul, and all of that. You're devoted. So either to you or others, or maybe the cause or the stuff you do, or the stuff you believe in, or the stuff you just like doing. That's also devoted and dedication. That's about counselor and having compassion, so people know they can go to you to advice. They know they can talk to you, and they know they can go to you for an honest answer or feedback if they ask for it, and you're willing to give it to them. And you just let them know, hey, if you're gonna come to me, I'll lend you an ear, I'll listen, but then we may have to have a discussion about it because it's a two-way street for that stuff, and you don't want to get trauma dumped. If someone says dump something heavy on you, you're going to have to be ready to talk it out. And say someone asked me for advice or just told me a bunch of deep stuff, I will have to ask more about it, or maybe either them to clarify or a discussion about it. That talks about the word control itself. Either you're being in control of yourself and your emotions, your heart, or you're in control of others in the conversation. But either way, you have a good sense of balance and control. You know how to conduct yourself. People can go to you, they're confident in you, they trust you, your word and reputation is pretty good. Talks about also being an advisor, but that also goes along with being a counselor. That they know you got the head smarts, you maybe think things better or clear, not better, but clearly compared to others, but you have a good head on your shoulders, essentially. All right, the next card is going to be, this is where things get a little spicy or tense, or the plot thickens type of a thing, is the obstacle. The obstacle represents, something blocking you in your way, something impeding you from advancing. It could be a difficult raid boss, or just a boss in the game in general. It could be a bump in the road. The wheel in your carriage can be broken. You need to repair it. It could be a broken bridge, so you can't cross the bridge. Maybe you need to get across the river, but you can't because it looks dangerous. Maybe there's even trap holes on the ground, and it's like, watch out. But either way, with that card, we play in reverse, and reversed cards have alternate meanings. So I'm going to pull the card, I'm going to look at it, I'm going to talk about it, and then I'll tell you what both meanings are. So we get the Seven of Cups featuring the European Badger. 7. Getting a lot of cups today. So let's go to 7 of Cups. Choices, searching for purpose, illusion, fantasy, daydreaming, wishful thinking, indecision is what it normally means. A lot of headspace stuff. But in reverse, it's going to mean lack of purpose, disarray, confusion, diversion, distractions, but yet clarity, and also making choices. So first thing had you all inspired, ready to go, good head on your shoulders, but now you feel like there's a lack of purpose, you're stagnating, things are slowing down. Maybe the things are distracting you from what you want to be doing, or maybe it could be a life situation, it could be a job, hobby, passion, friends, family, people, emotional stuff. Something has you distracted from what, I don't want to say what you should be doing, as if there's like one clear thing, but something you want to do, or you ought to be doing that you're meaning to do, but you're so overwhelmed and distracted by these other things being thrown at you. It's like can't bring yourself to do the things you want to do, or you can't focus on them, or they're not on your radar anymore because all the new things are right in front of you that may require immediate attention. But it also talks about in that chaos and confusion, disarray and distractions, you find a way to get some clarity and maybe find your purpose again, and maybe just reevaluate your situation, what you're passionate about, what you want to do in this world. And so it's almost like things are so, you're bombarded with so much sensory overload stuff. It's like somehow you found clarity in that, and you're going to have to make a choice, and we all have a choice. So it's actually kind of funny because in there somehow with all the chaos and the weird stuff going on, you manage to somehow find some clarity and make up your mind. So hopefully you develop your purpose again. You come to a conclusion of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And you just basically fell off the horse or the wagon or the bike or whatever, and you got right back up on it. So you're not letting it slow down. It is an obstacle. So in case you're maybe lost or confused, maybe these are hints of how to get over those things or get through those things. And if you never actually fell into the trap holes or whatever, maybe these are warnings saying, hey, if you don't make up your mind and if you get so lost in distractions and stuff, basically if you don't buckle down and figure out things and really think about what you want to do and how you want to do them, you can end up in an even worse spot. So please, like, almost like a warning, like, hey, you just might want to figure out how you want to do this stuff now so you don't have to figure out later when you're, maybe worse or more stressful position, when you could just take a little extra time now to figure things out now. So preemptively, in a kind way, get your shit together so things don't get bad later. And with that, we get to the third card, which is going to represent positive influences, and it's pretty straightforward. But you worked through those things, you heeded those warnings, so you either got out of that rut or you never fell into the trap hole. That's all good. But now we get to the third card, the Hanged Man, featuring the Fruit Bat. And again, very good card. Well, not that there's good or bad cards, but I jam with this one. The Hangman, sacrifice, waiting, uncertainty, lack of direction, perspective, contemplation, acceptance, new perspective, release, let go, and martyr. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, martyr drawn. The other card talked about a lot of disarray, confusion, but also making choices. And now here we are talking about sacrificing, waiting, and uncertainty. And lack of direction, because the other one talked about lack of purpose. So you still kind of have that lack of purpose, but at least you come to accept these terms and yourself, but you're not going to let them slow you down or stop you from what you're doing. So you admitting, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't have this universe figured out, but that's okay. I know what I know. I'm going to pursue and do things I want. And the uncertainty isn't going to eat you up like it does some people. But you're already admitting, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all figured out, but that can't stop me from living. And I like how about the card talks about contemplation, new perspectives. So take a step back, see the bigger picture. Maybe you missed something because again, maybe you're hyper fixated or focusing on stuff. So things that were right in front of your eyes, you may have not even noticed. But now, slow down. You still feel lack of direction, but you're still forming, I guess, who you are, what you want to do. But at least you're getting closer to that, and you're not, say, lost. And I like the big part of this card talks about release and let go. So I feel like that talks about emotional baggage or things you're holding on to that happened in the past that unfortunately, if they sucked, I'm sorry. It's also saying it's good to let go and at least not let those things hold you down and keep you back or living in the past, repeating negative cycles. Like almost like you're acknowledging, yeah, this sucks, this happened to me, these things did happen, but I'm also going to acknowledge I'm going to grow up from it, not grow up from it, grow from it, learn from it, and move on, and not let it hold me back or not dictate, I guess, my life. So a more positive spin than on the reversed Seven of Cups, but still in a good direction. Just maybe you don't quite have it figured out yet or what you want to do, so you still may feel a little stuck. And I would say that's okay, but we figure out things as we grow up and go through life. Then I'm going to get the fourth card, the near future, just to see how you're doing. We get the Three of Pentacles featuring the Husky. Or I should say Huskies, because there's three of them. Let's get Three of Pentacles. Teamwork, shared goals, collaboration, apprenticeship, effort, pooling energy, building. So I really like this. You figured out what you want to do. You're tackling this from a new perspective. Maybe you decide teamwork's the best way. Maybe you did a union with someone, maybe a business partnership, whatever, or even a gig or a task. But either way, there's more people involved now. It's just not about you. So you admit, hey, teamwork, we can accomplish more in less time, and just being more efficient. Talk about share goals. So shared goals and ideals. So both are working towards some of the same stuff, even. So hence one reason why you guys are collaborating and putting more effort into this teamwork, because you both want the same thing in the end, and you're learning it or doing it together rather than on your own. So it's already like you have a support group and you have people working towards the same things you want. So it's like kind of like a win-win situation. It's about a potential apprenticeship. So maybe you go to learn something, skills, trades, if you will, you and your friends. And this could be like school friends or trade school friends. I just really like how you're pooling your energy together and building and creating stuff and manifesting your hopes and dreams, the things you just want to accomplish, and making them a reality. And it's cool that you have people with you that want to do the same, not maybe the exact same thing, but similar things. So you all can kind of bounce off each other and vibe off of each other's positive energy. So when you surround yourself with those types of creative people, things just, to me, flow better. But I really like how it says you're putting in effort, work. So it's almost like you're building something, like literally a building. And you're all the construction workers and everything. You're seeing it through, and it's going to feel so cool when it's built and finished. So really cool. And now you're going to teamwork and stuff, and others helping you, you helping others. A lot of learning, maybe potential schooling, but you're dedicated. So it's all very good vibes. And now we're going to get the fifth card, which is the long-term results, where we wrap it up, or it can be to be continued. It could be a cliffhanger. It could end goodly, poorly, badly, however you want to interpret it. But let's see what you get. Strength, reaching the Chinese alligator. That's the third time I've seen this one today, but that's okay. It is what it is. I shuffle cards, so it's all pretty much randomized. Strength, courage, bravery, confidence, compassion, self-confidence, inner power, inner strength, focus, and healing, and like no violence. So again, you guys trusted each other. You're gonna feel more confidence. You have more compassion because you both shared, or not both, but all of you, because I don't know how many people would be involved. Shared your hopes and dreams with each other, maybe the pains and woes you had, basically your experiences. You guys are friends, so you shared that self stuff that made you feel vulnerable, self experiences that you had with each other, and that gave you guys more confidence and compassion for one another. And so inner power, again, doesn't always mean physical strength. It also means the willpower to know when to do something and when not to do something, when to make a conscious decision. Maybe it's like the strength not to speak up, know when to speak up, when to take action, when not to take action, etc. It also talks about bravery, so that's a good thing that you guys aren't afraid to maybe either take risks or speak up for one another or stand up for somebody. And hence also being courageous. So the card literally is courage, strength, courageous. It's all the same stuff, but I like how the card talks about focus, because you know, guys, how to focus like a laser beam and get things done. Distractions happen no matter what, but you know when it's crunch time or when you really need to sit down and hit the books or focus on something, you all are going to be able to do it. But I just think the most important part is the self-confidence that you all grew from this, and then you're ready for the next task or gig or whatever it is you guys want to do. Very positive, straightforward reading, and I think it's pretty cool. Just everything There were really no woes. Right? The second card was like slow down, rethink your purpose. The third card, still more waiting, but you're starting to see a bigger picture, and it just all wrapped up together very, very nicely. So now we're gonna get a bonus oracle card just to complement the reading, and it's just a phrase or a word of encouragement or phrase of encouragement, and we get chalice, which represents joy. And then you see the cup of chalice and it has all the artworks on it. And it's joy. It's like everyone's having a party and everyone's invited and it's good times. We have refreshments, we have music, we have lights, we have people coming, we have food, snacks. I don't know, just the chalice. So good times, basically good times had by all. So I think that's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed that. And again, if you need to discuss it further, feel free to DM me about it. If not, don't worry. And again, I will upload the VODs of these to YouTube. So, and if you want to see them in the future date, if you desire, you can. Or if you want to share them, you can. So you don't ever have to be here, feel like, oh no, I missed them live or whatever. That's okay. I save the VODs for my readings. And I don't timestamp them, but I send the people who are in the queue, I send them the timestamp individually. But now, come to think of it, I should probably timestamp the YouTube uploads. But I'm not too worried about that. All right. And I also take commissions for private readings where I go dig a little deeper. I can maybe try out different spreads, different rules. Can I have a full-on discussion about that? If anyone's ever interested in that, just hit me up. I'm also open for art commissions. I have links to my artwork sites in my description on Twitch. And yeah, October's almost over. We have November, December left, and the year's up, and then it'll be 2025. Not sure I'll do the next tarot reading stream. I just want to really do this one at least once because I didn't do any in October, I don't think. Or if I did, it was a while. I forget, but maybe twice a month or whenever. Honestly, it's whenever I feel like it or when I feel inspired or motivated to do so. And today was one of those days. So this was unplanned, but I'm like, I feel like doing this today. I usually play Darkest Dungeon, trying to take a break from that. I'll probably spend more time playing Super Metroid, practicing and speedrunning, but I also have some artwork to finish before the end of the month, so I may not stream as much, but we'll see. Or who knows, maybe in an hour I might go play Darkest Dungeon. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for chilling out, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. And let's see, who can we raid? Oh. Oh, I got the new emote. Wait, where is it? Holy shit, one sec. Go to the unlocked screen. What? That is garbage. And they're both the same. One's called Trick and one's called Treat, but they're both the candy corn. Okay, that was... Not gonna lie, that was pretty underwhelming and disappointing, but... Who am I to judge in this day and age? Raid Arcus, he's playing Dragon Warrior 3. Well, thanks for chilling, everyone. Thanks utterly again for raiding. Always appreciate it. And thanks everyone stopping by and saying hi. And see you next time.